Hello and welcome to Opt to Thrive, episode 34. Muscles, Mindset, and Midlife. Getting started with Abbey Atkins.
Welcome to Opt to Thrive, your go-to podcast for women's wellness in midlife, designed to educate, support, and inspire you to live your very best life. And now your host, Dr. Karina Sims.
Today I have a very special guest, another very special guest. I'm always very happy with my guests because I get to pick them. So this guest is a little bit of a backstory here, and maybe you don't even know this, Abby, but I first heard of Abby about a year and a half ago when I keep talking about my walk on the Camino Trail, but I'll just keep talking about it. I was on that trail and I was listening to some podcasts. I listened to Riverland Women with Carrie Robertson. And I think you had just done a recording with her because I think you were early March and I was walking in late March. And I listened to your interview and I was so impressed with a young woman. You know, I'm obviously a lot older than you are. And just so impressed with your story and your approach to, I guess, body positivity and strength and, you know, a lot of things that I was probably spending a fair bit of time thinking about at this stage in my life, wanting to make some real changes in the whole world with how midlife women approach their bodies and their lives and, you know, all the things that they have yet to do that they want to do with their lives. So it kind of really tied in very well with what I ended up doing with creating this podcast. You know, those were the very early seeds for me to come back and start this podcast, which is what I did as soon as I got home. And so I finally got to meet you, I don't know, some months ago now. I reached out. I was following you on the socials and loving your presence on the socials, and had talked to you a while ago about getting, you know, doing this today. And we finally got around to it. And we've had a whole podcast of conversation before we even got started today, which has been funny. So what I might do is just get you to introduce yourself, and then you can, you know, say what you want to say about maybe a little bit about what you do and maybe a little bit about what brought you here.
Beautiful. Well, welcome to me. Welcome. Thank you for having me. I was about to say welcome to the podcast room. Thanks for having me here. No, it's so nice. And I loved meeting you. It's always like, not scary, I guess, but different when someone reaches out and like, oh, let's catch up. And then the moment that you walked into the gym, I was like, oh yeah, cool. We're gonna connect and we're gonna vibe. But yes, I'm Abby Richards, recently married, so now Abbey Atkins. But yeah, I've been in the fitness and the health industry, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I never have the correct label for what I actually do, but that's fine. We don't have to label everything. But yeah, pretty much since like year 10, so a very long time. And I've been and dipped my toes in other industries. I was in like dental for a while and just worked in random little places as well. But this has always been my calling, and I always just end back here. I owned my own gym for a couple of years when I was like 19 to 21, and then closed that up and just worked from home in a little studio like this actually, but it was just a little at-home gym. And then went to Riverland Fitness Centre pretty quickly after that. Chris reached out and just did some random classes here and there, and then was working there full-time and managing that. And we now have 2 locations, which is pretty cool. And then maybe like 2.5 years ago, I needed more. I've always been someone that one job's never been enough. Like, it's always, doesn't matter what it is. I'm always like, oh, let's do something else. Like, I've got a pretty busy brain. So I like to always be challenged. And yeah, I did my sports nutrition qualification, and that was really fun, and just learning, I guess, a little bit more education around nutrition in that sense. And then I competed in my first bodybuilding comp, which is very far from what I do now, but it was a really big eye-opener to see that sort of side of the world, in terms of, again, nutrition and training. And that kind of is actually what got me into strength training, because I was very much CrossFit, HIIT training, and then my husband, Sam, wanted to do a comp, and I was like, yep, sweet, I'll do whatever. Jumped into it a bit blindly. And then, yeah, it was a lot more strength training. Like, my coach was like, okay, we're not going to be doing as much CrossFit. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I loved that side of it. The training was really cool, learning how to change your physique in terms of, building muscle and how to fuel your body and everything like that. Again, obviously bodybuilding, completely different, but it gave me the grounds. And I think that is what really solidified what I want to do, and that is to almost a complete opposite, to show people that you can find so much more happiness, strength, confidence in your body and yourself, just not having to look a certain way or fit a standard, I guess. So yeah, I started doing one-on-one coaching, and that was amazing, and I still do that. So I work up to with like 15 to 20 clients at a time. But I also still wanted to work with more. So I started my strength app, which has been amazing. We have 70 plus girls on there. Sam also manages like with the guys. So he's got a few men under his team. And yeah, it's just really nice to have so many women in the gym. It's kind of hard and it's a little bit surreal. Like I just walk in and I think girls kind of just like give me a little hey or a little wave, but I'm just like, this is literally insane. Like I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and you would never see women in the strength like on a squat rack or on the bench or trying to grow their glutes or raving about raving about their shoulders. Like they just wouldn't, or jumping up and doing a pull up. It would just be like hit this, hit that, run here, run there, which again, like every piece of every kind of exercise has its place. But it's just really, really cool. So yeah, and that is kind of where I'm at the moment. And then yeah, like you said, on social media a fair bit, because it's kind of hard to get your voice out these days if you want it to be heard. But yeah, just navigating all of that at the moment. But yeah, just have a very big, I guess, vision and goal of trying to show women that, I guess, just the overall exercise and nutrition is so much more than weight loss or weight gain. Like that's like the bare minimum of it, what it can do for your mental health, your strength, your confidence, your longevity, and everything in between, and just growing as a person. Like it's actually so insane. So trying to fit that into a job title and yeah, get that, I guess, message across is kind of where I'm at.
That's awesome. Well, you pretty much answered like a lot of my questions there, so that's awesome.
We can go into more depth.
You talked about seeing a lot more females in the gym. Over kind of what time period would you say that's you've been noticing that difference?
Yeah, it's actually so crazy. I actually try and think of this myself. I feel like women have always, because I've always worked in class-based gyms. I've never just been in a gym with like just the weight stuff, and women have always been a massive part of it in terms of like circuit training. Like my first gym was circuit and boxing, and they've always taken up a big chunk. But in the weights room, like I would say in the last, I'm going to say probably like the last 5 years, it started to pick up, but the last like 3 years is when I've really noticed women actually wanting to build muscle, not just kind of being in the weights room to be like, oh, I can wear a cool like activewear outfit and I'm going to play around here. Like people are actually wanting to build strength, and they're actually loving being stronger and not so focused on, yeah, in quotation marks, words skinny or weight loss, because I think that's kind of what the gym was just always recognized for. It's like if you go to the gym, oh, so you're trying to lose weight. It's like, no, I'm actually trying to grow as a person or build strength or work on my own mental battles. Like it's just so much more than that. But yeah, I'd say in the last like 3 years, it's really grown, and it is still growing at the moment, like really rapidly at the moment, I feel. So yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome. So in those 10 plus years, you would have worked with lots of different kind of, I guess, clientele. And are you starting to see more kind of midlife women getting into the gym?
Yeah, I feel like it's still a pretty wide range. I'm always really careful because it's so hard. We were kind of speaking on this before we turned the mics on, making sure that I use the right language and work with people that are ready for it. But yeah, I definitely think like I've actually just this week or even these last couple of weeks, maybe since we first got up, had a lot of women walking through the door that are just wanting to do something different. Like a lot of them, if not retired, they're like just working lesser hours, I guess, and they have more flexibility, and they have always just thought that they had to walk or run, and they're like, oh no, like I want to come in here, and now they're walking around with their phones and they've got their app and they've got their strength training. And yeah, I think it was just not that they didn't want to do it, it's just like, yeah, a lack of education, not to any fault of their own, but like there's so much pushed around. And I'm sure you would remember the, whatever it might have been, the Biggest Loser days or the cardio this, cardio that, train until you can't train anymore. And now people are like, oh cool, I can just come and spend an hour or 45 minutes, whatever I've got in the weights room, and like actually leave feeling amazing and make big changes in my life, which is really cool. But yeah, so yeah, the 40s and plus are really taken over, so watch out.
Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. So yeah, I think being one of those girls who was raised on cardio and managed my weight for many years doing, I prioritized cardio because that's what I was told I needed to do. And then the weight training for me was always something, if I had enough time, I got around to it, I'd put it in. I loved doing it. So for me to take a step back, so I don't know how much of my story you know, Abby, but midlife hit me pretty hard. And I had a very long history of yo-yo dieting. So every winter I'd put on weight and every summer I'd take it off. And I just did that. It was normal. And then I got to midlife and things just don't work the same way that they used to. So I had to really take a step back and reevaluate my strategy. And so one of the things that I did was really focus on building that muscle, because after this midlife period as well, we become an increased risk of osteoporosis. Our bones are going to thin, cardiovascular disease, metabolic disease, all these things. And, the evidence tells us we've been losing muscle mass probably from around 30. And if I hadn't done anything to keep that muscle on, in fact, I probably had done a bit of damage by doing a lot of cardio and restricting a lot of calories, that I really needed to focus on muscle mass. And so that is what I did. And was such a relief to know that I could go to the gym 3 days a week, do my hour, because that's just how long I, like to do it. And it was a very, it wasn't a flogging myself hour like it is when you do those, circuit training group class where you're just in there trying to just smash it out. You do like a set and then you get a good 3 minutes rest. So some people think, am I actually exercising? Like, is this really doing anything? But yeah, I spent a really good year just focusing on getting those muscles kind of back and strong and healthy, and a completely different approach. So I guess one of the messages I think I wanted to get out today with you as well was that it doesn't have to necessarily be the flogging and the very hard, long cardio sessions. Because let's face it, if it's a circuit class, it's not really resistance training. It's more cardio, if you had to put it in a category. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, like I said before, every type of fitness has its place for sure. But for people actually wanting longevity and not kind of going in there because I know I'm going to smash myself for half an hour for the dopamine hit and the energy that you get from it, and to be around people, because that's still epic for sure. Yeah. But yeah, like if someone was like, I genuinely only have 45 minutes 3 times a week, I'd be like, let's focus on strength training in those 3 sessions. And then if you have time, you can do some cardio and things like that, because it's really hard because people come in for different goals, and genuinely some people are just stepping into the gym to get away from whatever it might be, a busy day, kids, home life, and just that's their like mental break 100%. And some people just do want to jump on the treadmill. Like I've actually been seeing lots of people on the treadmill just reading a book and stuff these days. But yeah, if you're wanting to actually progress, and like you just said, and it's even scary for me because once we hit 30, I think it's like every 10 years up to 5% of our lean muscle mass is just like deteriorating. Like, and I'm like, that's me this year. It's our hormones are dropping, and I think people just think, I don't need to worry about that until I fall over and break a hip, and then maybe I'll do something. And it's like,
too late, people.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, just do it now. But as you just said, you don't have to thrash yourself. You do need to push yourself. And I think your key thing that I picked up on what you just said is it took you a year. Like it's not, I think people kind of get a program, or they come and see myself or any trainer or sign up to something, and there's no perfect program whatsoever. Like the perfect method is something you're going to stick to long term. And that doesn't mean if you miss a week or you get sick or you go on a holiday that you've lost all of your progress. It's like, okay, cool. I had a week off because mentally I wasn't there. I was sick. Things, I don't know, shit hit the fan. It's all good. Like come back, get back into it, and just find that routine. I think people really strive for perfection, which is not a thing. And yeah, like you said, they feel if they don't leave the gym huffing and puffing and feeling like they've just, oh my goodness, run a marathon, they're like, oh, I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, that's totally not it. And that's why a lot of people sort of stay away, I guess, because they think that they can't do it, but there is something for everyone. And yeah, people just need to stop comparing their journey or what they're doing to someone else, and just be like, all right, cool, this is my goals. Let's get a program, go and see someone that you trust and you relate to, and then just show up. Like it doesn't have to be as difficult, I think, as people say. And I understand that like time and things like that is a factor for sure. But yeah, I'm sure if I spend a day with a lot of people that tell me they don't have time, I could help them out. But yeah, and as I said, like it doesn't need to be like, something crazy. Like even if you could give yourself 30 minutes every couple of days, you could make some big changes.
Yeah, I think the sustainability factor is so important. And with your app in particular, you've got both home-based, they can do home-based workouts, or they can do a gym-based workout. Is that right? Yeah. So I think, you know, if you're the person, like for me, I need to go to the gym because I'm probably not going to do it unless I make it. It's just something I have to get up and go do. I'm very happy with that. I know that about myself. But there are people who don't want to ever leave the house to do that. Or we're going to talk about gymtimidation in a second. I really want to get into that. But, you know, there are people that will want to do it at home. And then, like you were saying, it doesn't have to be any really prescribed amount of time. You can break it up into smaller workouts throughout the week, or you can do, like I like to do, just get it, you know, 2 or 3 times, a nice big overall balanced workout to work everything. So I guess, yeah, the sustainability factor is so important. And then you touched on the perfection, and you made a comment. Can you elaborate? There's just no such thing as perfect.
I think for me, and it's really hard because I definitely still see it. Like, I think the industry is taking a really positive turn, or there's a lot more people out there that are trying to share a positive message, but then there are a lot of people still using their physiques or their life or whatever they've gained to be like, this program will get you this, or this program will give you that. And I can tell you now it won't. Like, we are all so different, whether it's genetics, time, effort that we're putting in the gym. Like, every single program is going to give someone a different outcome. So for me, the perfect program for someone else is something that they can stick to consistently. They enjoy it. And when I say enjoy it, most of the time, like, you still need to be disciplined, show up for yourself, but it should be giving you the results that you're after in terms of how you feel, rather than being like, oh my God, like the girl that had that shredded abs on the program that I bought, I don't look like her. And it's like, yeah, cool, because you're like going for unrealistic standards. Like, how do you feel though? Like, are you eating better? Are you moving more? Do you have more energy? Are you sleeping better? And I think people just, they tie perfection to the wrong outcome maybe. And they just, so they're always looking like, well, I haven't got this and I haven't got that. But it's like, but how far have you come? And what, you're moving your body 3 times a week when you weren't at all. And you're eating a lot more whole foods, and you just are a nicer person because you, have more energy, or you're looking after yourself. So perfection is just not a thing. And like, I'm someone that's been training for over 10 years, and I do fit it into my life consistently now, and I love it, but I definitely don't have perfect weeks. I just came from the gym before I came here, and it did not feel like the best workout, but it's like, cool, I just gave what I could. That's all you can ever do. And then we do it again tomorrow. Like, it's just is what it is. Some days you'll freaking feel like you got Superman wings on, and then the next day it's like, that was a bit of a shitty workout, but it's fine. And then life fits in between that as well. So you just have to keep showing up and give them what you got. It's literally all we can do. We're not robots.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So I think, stop looking for perfection and just like focus on how you feel, what works for you, and what makes you feel your best.
I think that's one thing that we often do learn with maturity is, learning to focus more on how things feel. So I guess that more intrinsic motivation over, how is it going to look? I mean, that's okay too. But if you can find that intrinsic motivation coming from a place as, what is this doing for my health? How am I feeling when I do it? Can I lift this thing that I couldn't lift before? I don't need my husband to do that for me. How great is that? Or more energy, or, all the things that can come with having really healthy, fit lifestyle. Can you think of a couple of things that we can throw out there for people to maybe help them get started? A lot of people find motivation a problem. Do you have any tips for that? And maybe to keep going once they're started?
Yeah, definitely. So motivation is a bit of a funny word because it's not always going to be there. And I think rather than looking, because people are like, how are you always so motivated? I'm like, I'm not. Some days that 4 a.m. alarm goes off, and of course, like, bed is comfy and it's cold at the moment, and I'm sure it would be great to lay in there and have a coffee in bed, but at the end of the day, like, I'm going to finish the day and be like, oh wow, like I didn't get up again, or I didn't go to the gym, or I didn't feel good. And that's kind of where I feel like people go wrong. They're always looking for that motivation, and I would kind of turn that to looking for a why rather than always having a motivation. Because then if you're getting up out of bed and that alarm goes off and you're like, don't want to, rather than being like, well, why am I doing that? Oh yeah, shit, like I really want to start feeling better. Or maybe you do have a physique goal. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a physique goal if you're reaching it in a healthy way. Your relationship with food and yourself is good, and you like are feeling good at the end of the day. Like, I think that's absolutely fine. But yeah, my first one would be to have a why, whatever that is, whether it's a physique goal, whether it is a wanting to have more energy for the kids, whether it's just wanting to feel better about ourselves. Because I feel like that saying used to be like, look good, feel great. But I definitely feel like it's the other way around, like feel good, look great.
Yeah.
Because when you're feeling good, you put a little bit more effort into your, the way you get ready in the morning. You're not rushing around. You put on an outfit you like or whatever, and you show up for the gym. You go for your walk. You eat well. You feel a lot better, and when you feel better, you just look better. Like, people will be like, "Oh, you're glowing," or "You're this."
You hold yourself differently. Absolutely,
you definitely do, because you have that more confidence. So I would definitely find a why, whatever it is, and it needs to mean something to you. Like, you can't just be like, "Oh, well, I read this online or I saw this." Like, find a why of why you want to make that change. And then my second thing would be start small. People just they go from not working out, maybe not eating the best for whatever their goals are and not feeling great, to I'm going to train 6 days a week for an hour. I'm going to run 10K. I'm signing up for a marathon. I'm cutting out chocolate. And I'm like, bro, just chill out, take a step back. It has to be feasible and it has to slot into your life. And then the last thing is you need to step out of the all or nothing, because people will genuinely, whether it's nutritional when they have a binge, or they go out for a meal out, or they just feel like they have a week where things didn't go well, or they miss the gym, and then throw it down the drain, everything's stuffed, nothing good can come from this. And I'm something that I like to tell my clients, and I do this with myself, and it's every night before I go to bed, I just look in the mirror, or it doesn't have to be that cliche, wherever I am, I might just be laying in bed brushing my teeth, whatever, and I'm what's something that I did today that didn't go to plan? Did I not? I try not to swear on here. I'm a big swearer, but I'm trying to be I'm trying to be good. Did I not go so hard in my workout, or did I miss my workout, or did I scroll on my phone a little bit too long, or did I not put effort into something that I could have, or wasted my time, or whatever? And then I'm just cool, what's one thing I can do tomorrow to not let that happen again? Rather than, because it's genuinely wasted time if you're beating yourself up for something that happened in the past, whether it's that day, last week, whatever it might be. If you're just you suck, you're so lazy, you could have done better, it's cool, that's not doing anything. But if you actually are constructive with it and okay, cool, I didn't really push myself at the gym, or I sat on the couch and scrolled on my phone instead of going for that walk and it didn't feel fabulous, tomorrow I'm not going to do that. You know what, I'm going to, and then implement something that's going to help you, whether it's setting an alarm on your phone to go for that walk, or habit stack it, message a friend, because if you're going to call a friend or walk with a friend, you have to show up for it. But then also you can't always rely on that stuff. You genuinely just have to dig a little bit deeper, but just implement something small. If you're aiming for an hour workout in the gym and it didn't happen, it's all right, tomorrow I'm just going to go for 20 minutes. I'm going to write down 4 pieces of equipment that I'm going to use, or whatever it might be, and I'm just going to show up and do that. And if it's not at the gym, at home or work, a walk, a workout at home, whatever it might be, but you just have to start small, because the all or nothing method will never work, and you'll just end up in this vicious cycle of starting, stopping. You just have to start small, and then you can grow from there 100%.
Yeah, I like to approach it like brushing your teeth. So, you've been brushing your teeth for so long. Mm. Have you ever been so tired, you just want to go to bed and you cannot be bothered, but you cannot go to bed without brushing your teeth? I have tried and I still get up because I just can't stand it. So I like to tell people, eventually it gets to the point where on Tuesday, if I don't get to the gym, it just feels like something's missing. That's just what I do on Tuesday. And if for whatever reason I have to miss it, then, I look at where can I put this back in? Mm-hmm. A couple of other tips that I give people. One would be to, especially those early morning ones, just tell yourself, I'm just going to put my clothes on and just see how I go. Or I'm going to get myself to the gym. And if, 10 minutes into it, I feel like it's just not working, I can leave. And, how many times does that actually happen 10 minutes into it?
I like to use the 3-rep rule. And I'm no matter what it is, 3 steps, 3 reps, whatever it might be, 3 minutes in class, and it's just do those 3 reps, or go for that 300-meter walk and just see how you feel. And 9 out of 10 times you're going to feel better. What you just said with the alarm thing, and this is something that just for me, it's hard because I've always gotten up early, but I'm just if you're a snooze person, there's not many things that I'm a balanced, non-restrictive girly. Stop snoozing your alarm. I would rather you sleep into 8 a.m. if that's if that's the time that you have to get up, then set an alarm at 7 and then at 7:15 and then at 7:20. Not for the fact that, you're snoozing alarm and going back to sleep, but it's genuinely training your mind to just give up on yourself first thing in the morning. You're you've set your alarm for 6 a.m. because that's the time that you need to get up. And then you're nah, I'll snooze it. Nah, I'll snooze it. And you're just you're not even creating that, I guess, that fight in your mind to be oh no, I made myself a promise. The first thing you're doing in the morning is breaking a promise to yourself. And I think it's like so if you can sleep until 7, amazing. Holy heck, I wish I did not have to get up at 4 a.m. That's just the life that I have, and that's how it works for me. So I have to make it work. Like if you can get up at 7 and go for a half an hour walk or do a half an hour workout at home, epic. Do that. Do not snooze your alarm. I think if there's any habits that you can try, if you need to sleep in, decide the night before. Be like, you know what, I'm not going to the gym tomorrow. It's going to be more beneficial for me to have a sleep in. Amazing. You've decided that. Do not do it, because it's just, I don't know if you've ever heard that speech. Well, I don't know what he was, maybe like an American, he was in the Navy or a pilot or something, and he says like you should always start the day with making your bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of who it is. Do you know who it is?
I can't think of it either.
Anyways, he just the point behind that is because you're just doing something positive and you're like keeping that first promise to yourself. Yeah. And snoozing your alarm, to me, is just like that. Like if you can sleep in, or if you have a day in the middle of the week that you get to sleep in, or if you get to sleep in till 8 every single day, incredible. But if that's the only time that you have to get up to get that exercise in, to clean the house, to prep lunch, whatever it might be, just get up. It's not that deep, and it's not that hard. Like
there's someone who gets up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, there's many harder things. And if you need a tip, get your phone, put it wherever your alarm is, put it on your clothes, and then put a little sticky note on there, whether you like soft love and be like, you can do this, or if you need something, it's like get the up. Yeah. Whatever it needs to be, but like, yeah, just don't even make it a choice. Rather than like, am I going to get up? It's like, oh my God, how am I going to get up? I'm going to do it. But yeah, you just need to have a little bit of concrete sometimes. But snoozing the alarm is one thing that I would try and remove from your routine. And
then you, on that phone on your clothes, that's across the room, right? So you have to actually get out of bed to do it.
Ideally, yeah. It's that will definitely, I think it definitely helps, but you just have to remember to do it, because most people are like glued to their phone. It also gets you off your phone before bed because you have to like put it down. But yeah, that's like the first habit I would try and break for sure.
I like that one. You did say something a minute ago that reminded me of something I did on the weekend. So on Sunday, I do a bike ride and a swim with the girls. And in the winter, it does get pretty hard because it's cold and it's warm in here. And it's, I do probably sleep in a little bit more on a Sunday than normal.
Yeah,
not much, just, and so last Sunday, I actually sent a message to my coaching group to say, here's a great example. I don't want to go. I really don't want to go. I'm looking out there, it's gray and it looks cold and I don't want to, but I know how amazing I'm going to feel. And I think I said, 5 minutes, and that one, no, maybe not 5, because I'm still going to have a frozen face at 5 minutes. So maybe at 10 minutes, I'll be like, I'm so glad I've done this, and then when so I just remind myself how amazing I'm going to feel when it's all done. I'm drinking the coffee with the girls, and I know. So I just remind myself how amazing it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I think everyone just ties anything health and fitness related to something negative, and I quite often talk to people about that. They'll often message or reach out, and a lot of the time, as much as I wish it wasn't, it's tied to weight loss or a number on the scale that they're seeing or whatever. And again, as I said before, I don't think it's a negative thing for people to have a physique goal if it's going about the right way. But I'm like, everything you're tying to it is like, I'm going to give up chocolate. I'm not going here. I'm not going out with the girls anymore. I'm not going out for Sunday breakfast. And I'm like, you need to stop like building such a negative relationship and only taking things away that you love, or adding in so many things that you maybe don't really enjoy right now, and actually just look at the small changes that you can make that are positive, and actually have a positive, like I mentioned before, like a positive why. Like you just said, like, I'm going to feel so freaking good when I'm having coffee with girls, rather than being like, oh, well, if I don't do this, I'm not going to exercise for the day, and then I haven't burned any calories, and then rah. And I'm like, as soon as you have all of those negative thoughts in your head, of course you're not going to want to do it. Like it's going to build this really bad relationship. So really focusing on, the positive outcome, and also just being proud of yourself for doing that hard thing. Like we do not grow without doing hard things, no matter what it is. And it doesn't have to be exercise related. Asking the question, sending the email, sending the message, putting your hand up, making the phone call. Like there's so many hard things in life that we're a bit scared of. And like, we just have to give it a go, and we just have to do it. But as soon as it's just like I said, like if you're doing something tough and you just back yourself and you hype yourself up a little bit, the whole process is going to be a lot nicer than if you just beat yourself up and be like, they're going to deny my request, or they're not going to let me have my pitch, or they're all going to say no and they're going to hate me. And I'm like, well, if you put all of that stuff in your head before it's even happened, it's going to feel so much more heavy and so much more negative. Like, just show up and give it a go. Like it will be okay. Like especially when it comes to exercise, because it's just it's half an hour to an hour of your day. maybe 3-4 times a week. Like, just show up. And like you just said, you will feel better for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can vent about it afterwards and be like, holy shit, this part was hard or that part was difficult. But it's like, yeah, and you did that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah, exactly right. And yes, the post-exercise coffee, especially on a Sunday.
It's the best.
Yeah. But good on you. Sunday's actually my non-negotiable, no alarm sleep-in day. And I love it. But yeah, so I love that you guys do that. That's cool.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times what gets me out there, because it really is like therapy. We just chat. Like the bike ride, it's over in an hour, and they're pretty fit girls, and we just chat the whole time. It's done before you know it.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
I think, well, as you just said, for someone starting out, that is definitely something that can help, and that's like habit stacking with friends or with something that is positive in your life. Like I said, people lately, I've been seeing them like read a book on the treadmill, and it doesn't have to be like something that maybe feels like self-help or learning. Like it could be you're watching your favorite episode while you walk on a walking pad. Like I think, again, people always try and find a negative to pair it with. I'm like, call your best friend, listen to that podcast or that raunchy novel, like on a book. Like just try and find happiness. And we're so lucky that we get to do it anyway, but I do understand that for some people it is really difficult. So it's like pair it with something that you already love to do. Yeah. And then eventually you'll probably just start realizing like, oh, holy shit, like I actually feel really good when I do this, even on the days that it's tough. So let's just keep going, and then it'll just evolve from there. But it has to start with something that's a little bit more light and a little bit more positive than I need to lose XYZ or I'm lazy or I'm not doing this. Like you have to be kinder to yourself through it all and give yourself grace. And then I just feel like it becomes not as deep. Eventually you're just like, oh wow, like I just ran that, or I just did that, or I pushed through that, or whatever it might be. Yeah, it's all mindset, like genuinely everything in life. But mindset is huge. Yeah.
And that, I guess, classical conditioning yourself to associate it to a positive trigger. A couple of things with the weight training I'll just throw out there that has really changed for me. And one huge one, because, we've mentioned weight stuff. I've always had a number on the scale that I don't think I've actually seen for many, many, many years. But weight training has really given me a whole new outlook on the scale. The number doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. It's a number that's much bigger than any number I ever would have believed that I could be happy with, because it doesn't mean I feel amazing and my body composition is so much different that it truly proves to me that it really is just a number. It means nothing. So that I'm really grateful for that, because I now pay more attention to how I feel. Than some stupid number that's going to ruin my whole week. Yeah,
I do love that. And for anyone that possibly is listening to this and it's like, oh, I want to start weight training, and you do weigh yourself, please know that that'll always be the case. I don't really have too many photos from back when I first got into exercise, because I didn't have much confidence and I never really took photos of myself. But yeah, I'm the exact same. Like I think I sit roughly at probably the heaviest weight I ever have. And yeah, it doesn't, you just, if I am ever to get on the scales, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Nice. Like it just doesn't mean anything. And just like you said, how you feel. And I do tend to speak on that with my clients, because they'll come to me, and again, there sometimes is a number in their mind from when they were younger or whenever it might be that they thought that they felt their best. But I'm like, you have to understand how much your body has changed since then, and you are lifting weights and you are putting on lean muscle mass. So please just like take yourself, if you can stand on the scales and it means nothing, whatever, if you, that data,
good for you.
Amazing. I'm like proud of you, that's awesome. But if it even affects you the slightest, get rid of them. Like you do not need them. Like there is absolutely no use for them unless you're competing in some kind of competition or whatever. But my weight has only ever recently held me back, and that was because we were in Bali and they wouldn't let me and Sam go first on the, what do you call it? Paragliding.
Oh yeah.
Because we were too heavy, and they're like, you gym too much. And I'm like, this is the only time this has ever let me down. I did end up getting to go, but we had to go last. So it means nothing unless you want to go paragliding. You have to go last.
And I'll often get people to, I'll challenge them to have a look at, some of those photos, you can find them online where they're the same exact weight, but they look completely different. Yeah. So it 100%. Really challenges your brain. There's this term called skinny fat. I don't know if you've heard this, but, a normal person, a normal BMI doesn't necessarily mean that they have a healthy body composition. They could be obese.
Oh, I'm way obese according to BMI.
Yeah, well, you're the perfect example where it doesn't work. That's exactly right.
It's like, oh my God, I have like PTSD from Wii Fit. Did you ever play Wii Fit? Oh my God.
No.
And your little like character would just like turn into like this little sad round animated character because it would like oh my God, you have to YouTube it. It only went off height and weight and it was just I'm like, oh my God, so many kids are probably like petrified for anytime they hear that
scarring.
sound.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, but it's great to now like look back and like giggle about it because like I just said, now jumping, like if I had to see like when you go to the doctors or whatever and you have to see your weight, it's like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, whatever.
I had that experience recently because I had to have a procedure and they put me on the scale and I was just so like, you know, a couple of years ago I would have been devastated. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It had nothing on me. That's good.
And it's really freeing to be able to say that. And I guess that is something that I just wish and hope that every woman can feel one day, because it genuinely means nothing. And that's not to say, as we've said, like you can make healthier changes in your life, but I promise you that number on the scale reflects absolutely nothing. If you are feeling epic, if you're moving more, if you're sleeping better, if you have energy. Yeah. And I also like guarantee 9 out of 10 women, whatever number that they have in their head, like their happiest will be heavier than that. Like you have to understand that your life is so much more than food and exercise. They're two big parts of it. But I think people forget that there are things that are worth sacrificing and things that are absolutely not. And you, like, if you had a line like of like living the most like strict and healthy life, that would be boring as shit. And then the opposite end, that you're living an extremely unhealthy life and not doing anything for yourself. Like people try and strive for that like end part. I'm like, that's not where you're happy though. You still want to go out with the girls. You want to have your Sunday morning breakfast in bed. You want to have date night and takeout. So like we need to bring it back a little bit and work out what we're happy to sacrifice. So like half an hour of scrolling on our phone to go for a walk, or one episode at night so you can go to the gym or whatever it might be. But it doesn't need to be, again, like striving for this like restrictive, negative perfection, because it's not perfect if it feels crap. Like you need to feel good through it. So
I am going to read a quote. I took this off of your interview that I listened to.
Okay.
I promise you there's never going to be a number on the scale or a size of clothing or an image that you see back in the mirror staring at you that you're going to fall in love with yourself completely over. It's a journey you just need to start right now. I loved that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I still feel very similar. I think that's what Monday, I'll start Monday. Or I genuinely was just having a conversation, and if these girls listen to this, they'll know some of my friends, and they're like, I need to start that, or I need to do that. And I'm just like, just do it. Like, and I do understand and you did say that you wanted to bring it up, the scary part.
Let's
so maybe
do
we
it.
can move into that. And I do, and we were just speaking about this again before the mics were on, about it being scary walking into a gym. But I'm like, just picture it as anything. Like it could just be anything. Like if I'm looking like, if I've just put on a fresh tan and I'm not wearing a bra and I'm looking terrible and I'm walking into the beauty salon to get my eyebrows done, I'm feeling a little bit intimidated. I'm like, these girls look amazing. I absolutely do not right now. But it's kind of just, as soon as it's a gym, it's just like heightened for some reason, I think. And again, just as we said, because you're walking in there maybe as a beginner, maybe you just have high anxiety that day, or maybe you just struggle with those things a little bit more, which is so fine. Like you should pat yourself on the back that you even got out of the car and drove there. Like, well done. That's step number 1. But I promise you, every single person in that gym, whether they've been in there for 5 months, 5 days, or 5 years, they're battling something and they're in there for their own reason. Like, no, it's not like this alarm goes on when someone's new and everyone turns around and goes, oh my God, there's a newbie. It's like most people are genuinely inspired, or like, heck yeah, someone else is in here. Like they're like, we got to, whether it's in class or they come into the strength room. And even as someone that has been in the gym for like 12 years, I get nervous to talk to new people, or like want to compliment people when they're doing a heavy lift, or ask someone for help. Like it's scary talking to new people, but every time I do it, like just the other day, a girl walked in and she was in like a matching kit, and I was just like, you look so good. And I was so nervous to go up because I'm like, I don't want to mess up with her set. I don't want to annoy her while she's training. And she messaged me later that day and she's like, you just made my whole week.
Oh.
And then there's been other times that I've been in there in different gyms and I'm like, I do not know how to use this piece of equipment. And I'm like, I'm either going to like play around with this for 20 minutes, or this guy next to me, I'm just going to be like, hey man, like, do these move? And I genuinely promise you, like, I've tried to move bolted benches from the floor before. Like, and I'm like, why won't this move? And then they're just like, oh yeah, that's like bolted to the floor. And it's not, it doesn't have to be that deep. Like I read a quote once. It's like, things are only embarrassing if you let them be.
Yeah.
And it's so true. So you just have to start, and just like anything, it's gonna feel scary going in there the first time, no matter what it is. Like you just have to do it on repeat. You just have to keep going, and some days will be harder than others. And whether my biggest tips I would say is, first of all, plan some form of like PT or just a walkthrough or something with a coach or someone that you already know that goes to the gym. Like, I'm sure all gym owners, coaches are going to be fine if you're like, oh, my brother's bringing me through, or my best friend or my partner or whatever is just going to take me through the gym. 100% they're going to be like, oh, sweet, someone's bringing you in here to feel a bit more confident. Or hit someone up that's already going, whether, again, someone that you know, a friend, a partner, whatever it is, and go with them. Go at the same times. That can be really helpful because you start getting a little bit more, whether it doesn't matter if it's busy or quiet, but you just get a little bit more familiar with the people that go at that time, maybe what pieces of equipment that are being used. But you also just have to do the inner work as well and coach yourself through it, and just like tell yourself that you've got this. And it doesn't start just from when you walk in the gym. And I often talk about this. It's making sure you fuel yourself before you go. So you're not, because like if you have any nervous feelings or anxieties, like if you've got an empty stomach and you've just had caffeine for the day, they're going to be be heightened, and I know that. So fuel yourself, have something that feels good, make sure you're like listening to some music that feels nice, give yourself a little positive affirmation. And people probably listen to this and goes, oh, that's so lame. And I'm like, yeah, but this is why you can't do it, because you're not being kind to yourself and you're not doing the work like beforehand. Like you're just like, oh my God, I've never been to the gym, everyone's gonna look at me, everyone's gonna XYZ, like a negative, and we just fill out. And I promise you, no one is doing that. Like absolutely no. Like we want more people in the gym. We want to see people thrive. We want to see people loving themselves. We want to, like, if someone's like looking in the mirror taking a selfie, or in the bathroom and they're like checking their glutes, I'm like, you get it, girl. Like if someone's got their tripod set up, I'm like, go for it. Like whatever it might be, like seeing people evolve in the gym. Or then you get people that just come in and do their thing. Like everyone is in there for a different reason, whether they're trying to hit a squat PB or they genuinely, the gym is their safe place, it's their 1 hour to themselves. Like just like everything with every single thing, everyone is just in their own world. Like I promise you, everyone is too busy thinking about themselves to think about you. So just do your thing. And it makes me sad to know that some people will never go to the gym or never apply for the job or never wear that outfit just because they're scared of what someone else will think. And I'm like, and it's not even real. Like we just make all of this stuff up in our head. Like just try, like just give it a go, and start slow. And if it goes wrong, like if you do walk into the gym and you do one exercise and you freak out, instead of being like, oh my God, I suck, did one exercise and I left, it's like, you did one exercise. That's what you needed to do. Walking in the door sometimes is the hardest thing. Put your headphones in, put your comfies on, and just give it a go, and just grow from there every single time. And like I said, you can't get better at anything unless you continuously do it. And it's not just the gym. It just happens to be that the gym is something that everyone seems a little bit more nervous for, which I get. There's things in there that are confusing, but that's how I would feel if I like walked into Sam's shed or
exactly,
just like anywhere. So
but just like in Sam's shed, if he would be probably delighted to show you how to use that, or this is what this is and this is how I do it. So I have asked people to spot me, or ask what is that thing, or how do you use that? And most people are really like, they want to help. We want to, like, we love being there. We want to help other people continue to go. So often people are pretty friendly like that.
100%. I think we just, and there is one thing, and I can speak for myself, like when I'm training, my entire demeanor is different. Like I'm in the zone. I have, my face is like you're lifting heavy weights or you're exhausted, like people, and this actually nearly made me, before, this isn't when I was training, like as a coach, I nearly was like, this is not for me, because I would be coaching like my clients and I'm like, they look miserable. They hate me. I was like, no one, like I do a workout and they were looking at me. I'm like, they genuinely do not like this. And then I came to find, I'm like, oh no, that's in my own head. I'm just making that up. No one said that to me. I'm like, they're tired. They just lifted something heavy, or they just worked out for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it is. They're just tired. So if you're walking around the gym and you're like, everyone looks so like angry, or no one wants to like talk to me, I'm like, I promise you, they are just, again, in their own mind. They're doing their own thing. Like it's never anything to do with you. We're all just caught up in our own heads, that we're all just like, oh my God, everything is a reflection of me. Oh my God. And it's like, no, it's not. Like just give them a smile, keep your head up, keep your headphones in, and just go and do it for you. Because like I said, you're stepping back and holding back from something that could be so brilliant and so great for the rest of your years because of something you think is happening. Like it's actually not. So it's just, yeah, you just have to battle it. And even on those days that it feels so scary, you just have to battle that voice in your head. It's like the devil and the angel. One's going to be like, turn around, go back. And the other one's like, you can do this. And you just have to really highlight that one, especially if you've had like negative thoughts or body image issues, excessive exercise, anything to do with your like foods and nutrition. If you've had bad relationships there or anything through social media, your parents, friends, whatever, if there's been a lot of negative things that you've learned and taught yourself over the years and you're only just trying to unlearn them, which is possible, it's going to take time. Like you've learned all of those things over years and years of talking yourself down and falling into diet culture, which we all have, and it sucks, but we get to choose to undo that and focus on more positive and healthy and happy things. And we just have to choose to do that over and over. And it's not going to be epic every single day, but if we just keep trying, like it will get better.
Jeez, Abby, how'd you get so wise?
My own trauma.
That's how we do it. Yeah, I get it. I will also just mention, I have been in the gym, off and on my whole life, really. Probably 16, 17 years old is when probably the first time I went into a gym. And my first husband was military, so we traveled a bit with military, and I was very much into the gym then as well. And I can tell you that gyms have a very a common setup. There's always like a cardio area, there's machines, and there's free weights. Mm-hmm. And so just kind of knowing, or in hotel gyms, probably have a lot less of the things in most hotel gyms, but they generally have a basic formula. So you probably could go into any gym and put, there's always like a squat rack, there's always a lat pull down, there's always some dumbbells. And if you had a basic kind of program, you could go into any gym and be able to probably work that out. Would you agree? Like, have you been into a lot of gyms around?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you just had you just said that basic standard point that you can just go in and you get to know probably, your leg press, your lat pull down, a few dumbbell movements and things like that. Pretty much every gym. It's kind of like what we said before. Like it might just be a little bit different. A new grocery
store.
Yeah. Yes. Like when you walk into a new Woolies and you're like, where the heck are the eggs? Like, why is this so confusing? It'll just be the same thing. Give yourself a couple of minutes and work it out. Yeah. But it's just, learning the basics of, your technique and how machines, there's usually some kind of pulley or something on there that moves, and just give yourself a little bit of time to work it out. I literally just put up a video the other day because we just got 6 new pieces of equipment at our gym, and I kid you not, one piece, if I had the whole thing on film, you could make a video of it. It was so hilarious. I was like, what the heck is this? Because things are just getting more intrinsic and epic these days. I'm just like, they've got machines for everything, and I was pulling it and moving it. I sent it to ChatGPT. I was like, what the heck is this thing? ChatGPT was incorrect. And then I was like, what is going on? And then I finally figured it out, but I was just laughing because I'm like, and it felt silly, but I'm like, of course it does. I don't know what's happening. And then you just work it out. And I'm like, everything's just so serious. It doesn't need to be. But I think and one of the things I do tell people, especially when they're feeling a little bit nervous about going to the gym, just go to the cardio machine, start with a treadmill, a bike.
And check everything else out while you're on there.
And just have a bit of a think, have your program. And I'm not, that's not a sales pitch to be sign up to my program. Find a program or write a program. There are so many so much out there for free, whether you're at home, whether you're in a gym. Literally YouTube, 30-minute workout only with dumbbells, 30-minute workout, I'm a beginner. We are so lucky. ChatGPT will do it. Literally right into ChatGPT. I'm a basic beginner, give me a 20-minute workout, full body, and it'll shoot something out at you. We have that many resources around us now. We can't be but I don't know. Do a little bit of research, put a little time aside, or just find someone in the industry that you're happy to have a chat with, that you connect with. Just reach out, because it will literally be the best thing that you do. But allow yourself to suck, allow yourself to find it hard, allow yourself to not always get it right, because like I said, we're humans, and you'll just get better at it. If I threw a piano in front of you and was like, oh, play Mozart the first time you touched it, you're not going to be able to, and I'm going to be like, oh, you suck. I'm just going to be like, well, you've never played piano before. That totally makes sense. And it's the exact same thing with the gym. I don't know why we put so much pressure on ourselves. We just have to be a little bit nicer. Yeah. And just take our time.
Absolutely. Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I think I kind of got the big picture stuff.
I don't think so. I feel like we've had
It's been a
a
good
bit of a
chat.
Yeah, I think for anyone, like, I mean, your audience is probably wider than just the Riverland, but we're both two women that are in the industry, and I think more than just being in the industry, I think it's nice when you're in a little corner like the Riverland where you genuinely do want to help. And if someone was to reach out, you'd be like, oh my God, like someone actually signed up to our gym because they found me on TikTok, like this, which is so random.
Oh, wow.
But I'm like, oh my God, yes, come. And like, when are you free? Like I'll take you around the machines or whatever it might be. So if anyone close to us or that knows us that's like on the edge, just freaking do it. And like, oh my God, again, if you can't even put together a message to send out to the gym or the trainer because you're nervous, use ChatGPT. Be like, I'm nervous. I need a message to send to a trainer because I want to catch up and I want to take that first step, but just do it. Like I said, allow it to be hard in the beginning, allow things to be a little bit scary, because if you just put all of this pressure on being like, I should be able to walk into a gym and nail it the first time, like, you're not going to be able to live up to that standard because it's unrealistic, and then you're just going to be feeling really crappy. So small steps, find something that's feasible. If that's 1 30-minute session a week that you can commit to that, start there, and then just take it step by step. Reach out to us, send us a message and be like, oh my God, I've been putting it off for too long, get me in there. Maybe we need to do like a session together and invite everyone to come and spend 2 hours with us.
We have talked about that.
We
have.
Like,
we need to try.
We need to like lock it in and just have, it's just fun. It can just be fun.
Yes.
Like some sessions, like I said, when I'm training, sometimes I'm like, nobody. I remember the first time I brought like my husband, Sam, to a session, and he's like, what are we doing? And I was like in the middle of the workout, and I was like, don't talk to me when I'm training. Like I was like, wait till I'm finished. I'm just like, it doesn't always have to be like that. It can be a lot of fun too. There's lots of different sides to training. I think it'd be really fun just to get a bunch of women together, go through. I actually did that with Riverland Social. She had a women's fitness event, and we like went through a strength session, and the girls just tried machines they hadn't done. They at the end of it, they were like, it was nowhere near as scary as I thought. As soon as I knew that something either pushes or pulls or moves up or down, like it's like,
or doesn't move because it's bolted to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And you just work it out. I think that would be really cool. But if anyone needs a hand or a chat, please reach out, and then be ready for your inbox to be full of voice notes, because I'm a voice note girly. Someone will be like, I'm struggling with this, and I'm just like, and I'll just be there.
I think the challenge is out then. We're going to get this together. We're going to do a come and try.
We've said it now.
Absolutely. We've said it. We've got to do it. So, Abbey, where can people find you?
So I am on Instagram as Abbey Atkins, and then that's pretty much my main point of contact, and then manage the 2 Riverland Fitness Centres in Renmark and Berry. So if you want face to face, and then otherwise just reach out on Instagram, and I do my one-on-one coaching through there, but that's pretty much my business platform, I guess.
So that's how they get onto your app, is to DM you on Instagram.
Yeah, all my links and stuff are on Instagram. I've got like a little website on there.
In your bio?
Yeah, in my bio. I'm always keen for a chat, and I love chatting to people that are getting into the gym or just need a little bit of a hype up or are struggling with anything. I'm like 110% here always, so just reach out. Yeah.
I have heard great things. I have some of our girls from the program that I'm doing are working with you and loving it. So, I can't recommend you highly enough.
Oh, well, same to you. It's bit scary coming in and having a chat to a doctor that is full of knowledge, but you make me feel very safe, and it's really nice to find someone that is very passionate in the same industry, so it's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love what you're doing.
I love this conversation, and I'm loving having my first guest in the sunroom. I talk about the sunroom a bit on the program, so you're the first one.
I love it too. I did say, I was like, it's just surrounded by windows and it's very safe and comfortable. I'm like literally laid back in a chair holding the mic right now.
You look pretty comfortable.
Very much just chilling out. It's nice.
We might do this again sometime if you're keen. So thank you so much for coming today.
You are so welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Up to Thrive. And if you're a midlife woman
who has found herself in this stage of life, maybe not recognizing this midlife body that you've found yourself in, may have tried some crazy restrictive or complicated meal plans and long grueling cardio sessions, and you feel like the only thing that's changing is your mood and your energy levels for the worse, Then you might be interested in my Midlife Reset program, where I help women optimize nutrition and find sustainable exercise strategies that really work for your midlife body, not against it. I'm going to be opening the doors again soon. So if you're interested in finding out more, click on the link in the show notes to register your interest. And if you can think of someone who might benefit from this episode today, please pass it along. Make sure you rate and review the podcast to make it more visible to those who could also get something out of it. I hope you have a great week, everyone. And until then, I hope you opt to thrive.
The Opt to Thrive podcast is designed for information purposes only and is not engaged in the giving of medical advice. The information provided on the podcast should not be used for diagnosing or treating a health problem or disease. In no way should the information provided by Opt to Thrive be considered medical advice, and at all times the advice of a medical professional should supersede recommendations from Opt to Thrive. If you have or suspect you may have a health problem, you should consult your healthcare provider. The views expressed in this podcast are purely that of Dr. Sims and do not in any way reflect those of the institutions she contracts with medical services to.
Thank you for listening to Opt to Thrive. If you've enjoyed listening, please rate and share the podcast. You can visit our website at opttothrive.com and leave a comment for any subjects you would like to hear more about.